My fiance said, working at a coffee shop shows you have no ambition. I need someone who thinks bigger than minimum wage. The breakup happened right before our engagement party. Emma sat me down in my apartment and said, Ryan, I can't marry someone who works at a coffee shop. It shows you have no real ambition. I need someone who thinks bigger than minimum wage jobs. We'd been together for 2 years. Emma worked in marketing and made $70,000 a year. She constantly compared me to her coworkers' boyfriends, who had corporate jobs and career advancement paths. Every family dinner, she'd get embarrassed when people asked what I did for work. My friends are dating lawyers, engineers, people with actual careers. She'd say during our fights, "You're 27 years old making lattes. When are you gonna grow up and get serious about your future?" What Emma didn't know was that I'd been analyzing the coffee shop business from the inside for 3 years. I worked at Grind Coffee downtown, studying their operations, supplier relationships, customer patterns, and profit margins. The owner, Marcus, was getting ready to retire and had been mentoring me on business management. 6 months ago, Marcus offered to sell me the shop for $180,000. The location was prime downtown real estate, established customer base, and averaged $15,000 in monthly profit. I'd been saving every penny from my barista wages plus doing freelance bookkeeping on weekends. I qualified for an SBA loan to cover most of the purchase price. The bank approved me because I had 3 years of financial statements from the business, plus I'd been managing inventory and scheduling for the past year. Marcus basically handed me a turnkey operation. Emma never asked about my finances or future plans. She just saw the apron and assumed I was stuck in a dead-end job with no prospects for advancement or wealth building. I'm dating Trevor now, she continued during our breakup conversation. He's an investment advisor. Finally, someone who understands money and long-term planning. Last week, the paperwork went through. I officially became the owner of Grind Coffee. Marcus announced my ownership to the staff and regular customers. The local business journal even ran a small article about the ownership transition. Yesterday, Emma's friend Jessica came in for her usual morning coffee. She looked confused when she saw me behind the counter in regular clothes instead of the uniform. Ryan, aren't you working today? I'm always working, I said, making her cappuccino. I own this place now. Jessica stared at me. You own Grind Coffee? Since when? Officially as of last week. I've been working toward buying it for 3 years. She pulled out her phone and started texting frantically. Emma is going to lose her mind. She's been telling everyone you had no business sense. 20 minutes later, Emma burst through the front door. She looked around the busy coffee shop like she was seeing it for the first time. Ryan, Jessica says you bought this place. That can't be right. I handed her a copy of the business registration with my name listed as owner. Closed on Monday. Marcus retired and I took over operations. Emma was reading the paperwork with growing shock. How did you afford to buy a business? 3 years of saving, plus an SBA loan. The bank was impressed with my management experience and the shop's profit history. She looked around at the packed coffee shop, calculating in her head, how much does this place make? About $15,000 in monthly profit. Plus I'm planning to expand into catering and wholesale bean sales. Emma's face went pale. You make more money than I do. Different paths to financial success. You climbed a corporate ladder. I bought the ladder. She sat down at a corner table. Why didn't you tell me you were planning this? I tried to discuss my business goals multiple times. You always said I needed to get a real job instead of dreaming about coffee shop ownership. Emma was quiet for a moment. Trevor's been struggling to build his client base. His investment firm isn't doing well. That's rough, I said, wiping down the espresso machine. Good thing you found someone who understands money and long-term planning. She looked around at my customers, my employees, my business. I made a huge mistake, didn't I? You made a choice based on what success looked like to you. Now you get to see what success actually looks like to me. Emma left without ordering anything. Jessica texted me later. She's been crying for 2 hours. Trevor apparently lost 3 major clients this month and might have to close his practice.